Wait, so you're still looking at this list though?
Hmm.
Okay. There's still. I mean, again, how long does Steam Next Fest go? Do you think normally?
I think it goes till it's like actually it ends on what, a Tuesday?
It's yeah, I think so. We got some
Oh,
time. I
well,
mean, we're still grinding out some of these. The thing is, though, that I still got three games to review, and all the
so
embargoes are Monday.
nice.
I have not started writing
uh,
any of them.
the hmm, is it because of a recent purchase?
Two of them are for it,
Okay, okay, all right.
and the other one's PS5, which also is like, oh, we don't get those codes often, and I have one now, and now I'm like, well, I don't know what to do about this.
Oh, I was going to ask you what game it was, but maybe you don't want to admit that.
Oh, yeah, Joel, you don't realize that we're live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that too.
that'll
That's
also
good.
make it so I'm like, I don't know, but all three of them are good in their own special ways, and I'm just like, well, I don't know what to do here. It's a
How
perfect
to
it's honestly a
how to
perfect
hone in on
storm, you know. It's
So
a
what genres are the games?
One is co-op platformer, action platformer. One is visual novel, and I don't know. I haven't started the third.
Okay.
I'm gonna be busting my buns this weekend though. That's like gonna be the weekend. I think, like Saturday, I have the girl, and as soon as I put her to bed, it's gonna be like, well, all hands on deck. Let's knock some of these out. I mean, welcome. What's good, internet? Welcome to session 295 of Super GG Radio. That voice, that silky smooth voice you are hearing, is me, Alex Arona. Also with me is my powerful, manly, musked up friend here, Joel DeWitt. Hey, Joel.
What's happening?
I could smell your musk from over here.
I'm sorry. I just don't like the word musk in general.
Is that one of your words?
I guess so. It's just a little weird.
There are, everyone's got the words that are just like make you really uncomfortable. I have one too that I'm not going to admit on camera,
No.
but
Mm.
everyone's got those words where you're just like you say that word and you're like, oh no, no,
Yep.
let's never say that word again.
Yep. Yeah. So,
We were
well,
we were discussing really though the perfect storm that is Summer Game Fest, Nintendo Switch launch, and Steam Next Fest. It's really been
that's right.
kind of crazy because and we kind of participated in a bunch of that. What do you, Joel? How have you felt? Have you felt entirely overwhelmed?
I mean, in some ways, we kind of naturally divided and conquered without talking to each other, right? Because you went straight to the Summer Game Fest scene. I was neck deep in Switch 2 stuff, and I've been rounding back the last 3 or 4 days, catching up on Next Fest. And we've got some good stuff to talk about. But yeah, definitely stretched a little thin this past week. But it's a good kind of tired. It feels intentional, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, there is like a level of focus, right? Like you don't have a choice. You're like everything's on fire. Now's the time to get stuff done.
Right. Well, and it's also one of those inflection points where it's like you got to strike when the iron's hot, right? So even for Nintendo World Report, which we contribute to sometimes, it's like now's our time to really hammer home and get some exposure and content out, and then we can kind of piggyback off of the success of the Switch 2 wherever that goes. Because the funny thing was always Wii to Wii U.
Hmm.
That's the end of Wii is when I started following Nintendo World Report, and like there was a community there, and then Wii U happened.
Yeah,
It was like everything got flattened.
yeah.
So, yeah,
And now it's like we were at this like point where like yeah, like you said, like it is like Nintendo Switch 2 launch, and everybody at Nintendo World Report with us is like, we gotta go, we gotta go. There are so many of these games, and it's like, okay, now which of these games have we already reviewed? How are we going to talk about them now going forward on the Switch 2? Which is like again a whole nut scenario that like some games out now we just almost have to like re-review and think about it like, oh, here's a list of the games that are now actually pretty good. That may not have gotten their fair shake because they were on the Switch 1, which was like a really hard console to have them on. Like I'm hearing really good things about Arkham Asylum. Like, oh,
right.
really? That's kind of wild that Arkham Asylum now just runs beautifully.
I didn't remember it having problems, although those I played Arkham Asylum back on PC and got my entertainment then.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you remember on PS4, The Arkham Knight, the final
Right.
one, was like a
Right.
nightmare scenario, and now I'm kind of curious. Does this continue to be the like? We're gonna go back and play Arkham Knight and be like, man, now this runs like a dream.
It is kind of funny you frame it that way because Hello Kitty Island Adventure plays better on Switch too. I can confirm
Really? Because it
from
did
you.
have that
Yeah.
kind of like a bit of a stutter, and that dropped some
It,
points in my review. So
some
now,
frame rate drops were happening. The visuals are really fuzzy and smeary when you walked around. It is nice and clear, and I saw barely any technical hitches.
and I really liked that game too. I really enjoyed it, but it definitely was kind of a rough like game. Like Hello Kitty Island Adventure played kind of rough.
Yeah, no, it's really charming. Kelly's really into it deep, so I get to play front seat to some of it. So, but it's neat. It is a neat game, and I'm glad that it is functionally better there. I should probably go back and try Fae Farm.
Yeah.
That was one where the performance was really rough.
Mhm.
Surmount, I should go back to.
Ooh, yeah.
I
Write these down. Write these down, Joel. Do you have a post?
I
You have a post-it handy? I'm all post-its
no,
all the time.
no, but I'll be editing this anyways. It's fine.
Seriously, I'm posting it up over here all the time. Just stacks of post-its everywhere.
I have worked to break that habit, especially in real life work, because the stats aren't what's happening, and then what happens is that I get the job done somewhere else, come back to the stat later, and throw most of it out anyway.
It's funny that you say that. I'm actually pretty happy with my system because I actually use these, though there are some there that are just supposed to be like forever reminders, and now I just have a post-it
Yeah,
that stays on my desk forever, which isn't helpful.
yeah.
So the Switch 2 though, have you gone back and played anything new, or are you just enjoying the Mario Karts and the Street Fighters and the whatnot?
So Mario Kart and Street Fighter are definitely the bulk of what I've played so far. Um, Street Fighter is Street Fighter,
Uh huh.
and it works as intended. It is maybe not a one for one mirror because I don't have the PS5 or the
But
Xbox Series version.
but you've seen
But
it running on PC with me.
right, yeah, and it's not there, right?
Okay.
If you're looking at a really nice PC, it's not there. But I feel like this has to be functionally equivalent to the other big boy systems at this point.
Okay.
Like there is no frame rate stutters in single player. Online ran really smoothly. Maybe part of it is the artistic style of the game too, but everything pops like I remember it popping on PC,
Hmm.
with the splashes of paint color, with the hits, and just the character animation and expressions are really great. It is just as good as it is everywhere else. I can attest to that. The only problem with Switch is that you have to deal with Switch controllers.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing is that I've definitely been like holding off on certain games because I'm like I just don't know where I'd play it, and like the Switch is the obvious choice, but I don't want to play on those controllers.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why they haven't quite figured out the D-pad again. And my sense is like maybe they're just thinking for uses like 2D platformers or top-down Zelda type controls.
Hmm.
This is the old man's control scheme, and everybody else is using sticks. You know,
Yeah.
but it does not have the range of motion on their Pro controllers. That's quite good enough. And these Joy Cons, they're a nightmare to try to do quarter circles.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, you got to have some connective tissue between the buttons so it feels like a natural flow,
Hmm.
and just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I do like that Mario Kart. That Mario Kart runs really well. That soundtrack is banging. I keep forgetting because I played Mario Kart 8. Like I played it. I played it. It was good. It's very good. But that soundtrack is so beautifully orchestrated and realized in the way that like I always like I've gone back to Mario Kart 8 and thought, man, that soundtrack. Why does no one talk about it enough? And then I'm coming on this one. I'm just like, people aren't talking about how amazing that soundtrack is. It's so cool to hear all of these some of like these spins on the classics. Like the one that sticks out to me is that if you remember Mario 64, there's that like snow world where like you have the penguin baby and whatnot.
yeah,
They have
yeah,
that so amazingly orchestrated in one of the tracks here that I just like every time it brings me back. But also it's just such a bigger like expanded version now with all of these instruments in play that really make it like I would go to a Mario Kart concert. You know what I mean?
Yes. No, I say what you will about Nintendo. Their soundtrack history has been really impressive, and it has staying power. Even the simplest stuff. This game, it kind of like reminds me of Mario Odyssey, where there's so much that's kind of a love letter to itself.
Hmm.
In a lot of ways, the music is a big part of it because there are original tracks, but a lot of the soundtrack you'll hear are reprisals, new renditions, enhanced, orchestrated versions of like the what track is it with multicolored lanes.
Rainbow Road.
No, no, I mean Super Nintendo, the one where
Oh, okay. I'm not
Donut
sure.
Plains.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
They had a reprised one for that because there's a part of a track that sort of mimics that track, and it's like that's
Or
cool.
or even the like the Ghost Boardwalk is back from the SNES version.
Yep, yep. The attention to detail is really top notch. There's that, but there's also just the characterization of the characters, the kind of expressions
Mm.
and behaviors they have, and it's not quite one dimensional. So, for reference, I play as Baby Luigi
Okay.
as my main. Uh, Big reasons I
Hmm.
like fast characters, and I think people get annoyed when they lose to Baby Luigi.
Oh yeah.
So
But now it doesn't matter what character you pick. They don't have varying. They don't have varying. Like it doesn't affect them. They're all fast.
yeah,
I think
hmm,
so. I don't see stats. They took
you're
away the
you're
stats for the characters. You get them per car.
that's hmm. I hadn't thought about it too much.
That's what I was thinking. Is that like they remove some of the customization where you could put on different wheels and different parts of your cart, but now it's just like here's the cart. Period.
I might need. I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
You're probably right. Either way, they simplify it because you don't mix and match parts anymore. You pick a cart
Yeah.
out of
And that's
different
where you get
options.
the stats for it. But at least they still have all of those like key functionality for like playing for like with your kids or something, where like auto turns, auto gases, like all that
Yeah.
stuff. I'm glad that that still exists because it's very helpful.
uh, Having plenty of nephews that are at that age where they're not quite I can play on my own status. Yeah, it's nice that some of these younger kids don't have to be the here we're gonna give you an unplugged controller and look there's you on the screen
Yeah.
type of stuff. It naturally interact with it. But
Yeah, I think it's
uh,
good. I think it's the one thing I've been reading online, which I mean I played a bunch of this, so I agree, but that you still get a lot of the like the Mario Kart BS that people don't like, which is like, oh, if you're in first place, it's just coins, and you're just gonna get repeatedly tag teamed by blue shells.
yeah,
But it's like I don't know,
yeah,
there's not really a way to like that's in there to kind of make the game fair and to kind of make it so that you're not just destroying people. So I guess I get it, but
I
yeah,
just some things aren't meant to be that serious.
yeah. Well, also for me, it's like those things are there for a reason, and they're annoying because you're good.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point. It's kind of democratizing people's chances of winning the game by the curve that they give out the good prizes to, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, functionally it's the same game. It's kind of neat sometimes how a track won't go in a loop; it'll go into sort of a long winding road journey kind of thing.
Yeah, if
Uh,
that actually that sometimes bothers me because
yeah,
I want to like when I'll go through a track and be like, "Oh, I saw a shortcut. I want to try that again. I want to try that shortcut." When I go on the route lap 2, I'll be able to try that shortcut. Oh, wait, it's a straight line.
yeah,
The next lap will be on a different part of the course entirely. And I'm like, that's both good and bad because I want to be able to master some of these without starting over entirely, but I mean at the same time it's like you get a lot more variety.
yeah. I think that it is fresh and unique in that way. I see your point, and I don't disagree that it's going to be harder or more time consuming for people to kind of go over a track and get all the different pieces of it because they've got those grind rails and the wall running stuff in this,
Yep.
but I have had inconsistent success connecting with that stuff.
So the rails I've kind of figured out. If you jump straight up and down or just wiggle the stick, it's like drifting. where you see the multicolored flames come out and you start to boost. And then it isn't until you jump off and land that you get the boost. If you just ride off or fall off, you don't get the boost. So it's one of those things that you have to like actually build up the boost and then capitalize on it. You can't just do it passively. The wall rides, on the other hand, I have done only by accident and thought I was breaking the game. I didn't actually think I was doing a thing that you were supposed to do. So I sent you a video of just people absolutely breaking the wall running and the the rail grinding, and I was like, oh, I guess it is a thing to wall ride. I never thought that was actually a thing you're supposed to do.
And it's hard to realize because it's not in a loop. You're playing Grand Prix, you play it once, you might come back to it on a solo track or online, but you have a faint memory of it, and so you just miss it again unless you turn it into a practice, which I don't know I want to take Mario Kart quite that seriously.
I will tell you, though, I don't know if you've noticed, the large amount of helicopters just flying by every track. And then I'm told, I think I've seen one, but I wasn't sure I saw it. There are UFOs around. That's it.
So Area 51 isn't too far from.
And that's what's kind of weird about it. I played it on stream for like 4 hours the first day that the Switch 2 came out, and I remember like just continuously going, well, there's another helicopter. And there's another helicopter, and it's hard when you're racing to like pan the camera, but I was able to catch just staring at it going, why is there a helicopter flying by? Like you gotta
keep it down. Mushroom Kingdom's a CIA black site.
Police state, man. Police state. Yeah. Yeah, but no, I'm liking it. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm playing. I'm gonna continue to like mess around with it, but it's good. It's not amazing. It's good. I think it's really good.
I would have felt a little worse about it if I had to pay $80 for it.
Yes.
That's sort of my consensus on it. And I don't feel so bad about getting digitally because of that, but also it's the kind of game you want to have available
all the time. I installed Mario Kart 8 as soon as I got my Switch, and I never uninstalled it.
Yeah, because you want it at the ready.
I have a nephew coming over. I got a niece coming over, cousin coming over. They want to play Mario Kart. There you go.
Yeah. Have you touched any of the online modes?
I have not.
Okay. So there is Knockout Tour, which is the one I've put a lot of time in. Mario Kart Race, it's a series of 5 or 6 tracks. What happens it's I hate using the comparison, but Battle Royale thing where certain number of people survive each round until you get down to the final 4 and then winner's chosen from. So like each lap there will be out of 24 people 20 people survive. Next one out of 20 people 16 survive, and down.
What I'm told is what makes it tricky is that that's also including between races.
Yes, and it is some of the most people commit violence in that mode.
Really?
It's wild. It is cutthroat.
I'm gonna have to try it now. Now you're making me excited.
It's pretty rad. Yeah, I would give it a go if I were you. Just experience it a few times. You can at least know that you were scarred by that. But I've dumped some decent time into that. The hours I put into Mario Kart so far.
Yeah. But I'm liking it so far. I haven't really at this point now it's like what other games? There are 3 games. This lineup is 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
It is Welcome Tour, Mario Kart World, and then the racing game.
Fast is the series. I forget the full name of it though. Yeah. They've been a supporter of Nintendo since the Wii, so it's been fun seeing their development. But they're very good at that one thing, which is futuristic racer.
Yeah. So like an F-Zero, like
it is like that. It's has its own quirks. So you have the boost system kind of like F-Zero, except the track pads are either orange or blue, and you've got a toggle button, and you have to make sure that the color of your vehicle matches the boost pad in order to get the speed.
That is interesting.
Yeah, it adds a neat little layer. but it also it gets the speed right, which is really important for that kind of game.
Okay. So you played that one?
No, not that one.
Oh, okay.
It's on my to play list, but that's just generally how that series works. Uh,
I-
so
I'm definitely looking to start like because I brought over a lot of my installs. I'm probably gonna put on some other ones, like see what I can find. That I'm like, oh, what do I want to test here? What do I want to see how this runs? What games
I heard
ran like crap? You know.
I heard No Man's Sky works better.
Oh no! What the our friends over at Gaming Fix were just discussing that No Man's Sky now has cross play with PC,
Wow.
and I don't think that was a thing in regular No Man's Sky for Switch.
So now they are parity with the other
Yes.
platforms then. Okay, good. That's the kind of stuff that I feel like we need to be expecting as a baseline at this point with Switch 2. I understand it's in a precarious spot where it's Nintendo and how they're close to parity with these consoles, but this early on, it's tough not to expect at least feature set parity, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not graphically, maybe not frame rate, but feature parity.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that we're getting good now in that space. Obviously, we're not going to go PS5 level, but I mean, like a lot of the less powerful games. Even No Man's Sky is still a powerful game, but I mean enough that they could talk to PC, which is pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean, the power behind that is just the procedurally generated universe in the background, right?
Yeah.
Systems on systems on systems that goes on with that stuff. But
That's every time I'm like, I should play No Man's Sky again, and I played it for like 5 to 10 hours. But I also remember like that game is so dense that it's gonna take you at least 20 to get anywhere where you're gonna see some of this content that they've created over the years. And like that's why I'm like, I don't know if I want to replay that whole beginning again because I'm gonna play that beginning again, and then I'm just gonna go kind of back to where I was and be like, this is a fun game, but I won't have ever experienced any of the new stuff. I'm gonna cut out at the same time as I did the last two times, and be like,
Yeah.
yep, I sure do like this beginning loop. Don't know about anything else.
I feel like that's our fault more than anything.
Yeah, well, I'm
It-
just
it's yeah. I mean, because I fall into the same trap, right? It's like it's the RPG thing. I played 8 hours of Xenoblade Chronicles. Life got in the way, and I got distracted. Came back. I don't really know what's happening. The controls, and whoops! I'll destroy everything and just start again. But need to do a better job of just saying we can read the instructions again. We can look at the wiki and figure out the lost knowledge and
yeah.
and learn how to just move forward from where you're at. That's a personal failing of it.
Yeah, and I should probably do that as well. I should probably just play some of
What-
the games I have.
Right. What do you think about the Switch 2 itself?
I think I like the size. I think that's the size I would want from something like this. The Switch always felt like it was too small for me, so I think that this is a good size. My Joy Cons are a little wiggly, and that feels bad.
That man, you know when you say wiggly, you mean the way it snaps into the sides.
No, I snap it into the sides, and
actually-
then one of mine just goes.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. That feels bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, the problem is that Nintendo wants to treat this like an Apple product. You know,
In what
and
way?
so if they're gonna have it be like an Apple product, it needs to feel like that kind of heft and nice feeling tech feeling, right? And that's a little too janky.
Yeah, it's just a little too wiggly for me. I mean, the form factor is good. I felt like the setup and getting everything right to the point was really easy. Like I felt like that whole thing probably took like 20 minutes.
Yep.
Even just putting my Switch, like putting the two switches next to each other and they automatically transfer data, that was pretty cool. I will tell you though, it's like, oh, plug in your Switch 2. I said, okay. They said, plug in your Switch 1. I said, okay. And I did not have the actual, like, the Nintendo branded plug, so it didn't count it and wouldn't let me move forward unless I used
called-
it. It actually didn't say anything. It just kept the message up there, plug in your Switch, plug in your Switch. And I'm like, I did. am I not? And then I had to like go and unplug my dock, my Switch dock, and then plug in that cord into the Switch before that message went away and would actually do the transfer. And it was the same thing for the Switch 2. I just have a USB-C plugged into the wall. And I plugged into the Switch 2 and that message would not go away until I got the Nintendo branded Switch plug. And then the Switch 2 went, like that message went away. And I was like, well, maybe it's a voltage thing.
They're just telling you stop being a cheapskate. Use the full Nintendo experience.
Yeah, I guess. That's what it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought USB-C was supposed to be a unifying cable.
Right?
And standard format. I don't appreciate how they're bifurcating one cord type now.
Yeah. Nope, use a specific one. Oh, you jerk. I like the Switch 2. What do you think?
It feels good in the hands.
Mhm.
That's a big piece. It has more weight, but it's evenly distributed. You know, it doesn't feel plasticky or cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Your controllers thing notwithstanding.
Yeah.
I really, I can't state how much nicer it feels to have controllers that size. Just don't get me wrong, I played Breath of the Wild with 2 Joy-Cons in my hand. I played Mario Kart 8 that way. You nestle it in a certain part of your hand, it's fairly comfortable. But this sits squarely in the palm of your hand. It's like a fuller control. I don't like the price of things.
No, it's expensive.
Now grant you, I got rid of some stuff to cover the cost of mine.
Whoa.
Including the Steam Deck. So,
What? Really? You got rid of your Steam Deck?
So this is proof you don't listen to the show when you're not on. Yeah, I sold off my Steam Deck.
Wow.
A month or so back, and that covered a good portion of it. Funny thing though,
Mhm.
I got back what I paid for it, so it was basically renting the entire time.
Yeah, but you just don't use your Steam Deck that much?
I didn't. No, I mean part of it is that I have a laptop if I want to play games away from my desk and functionally well enough. But then it found its way to a corner and sat there. And I think I realized that like there's a tad bit more settings tweaking in the Steam Deck than I want, and I don't like having to go through my menu and figure out like, okay, what games are Steam Deck certified, verified, or whatever, or kind of plays. And just more work than I wanted to do for, I think.
Oh, I just find the games that are Steam Deck verified, like that took 2 seconds for me, and then I just installed all of them, and then I'm like, okay, this thing is maxed out. If I want to play one of these games, I'll just play it here, which I do. Like I have, like, but the one thing I found is that there are like desktop PC games, and then there are Steam Deck games, and it's rarely that I go back and forth.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of been like, it is regulated, like it's relegated. It's been relegated to just like very hyper specific games, like these really like kind of mellow, less pressurized indie games that are more story focused. That's a Steam Deck like classic for me. But if I'm like, oh, I want to focus, or I want a bigger screen experience, or I definitely want to like pay attention a little bit more, I have to be at my desk. And that for me is like, that's not great, but it's still enough there to justify it for me.
It's still a functional fixture in your day to day.
Yeah, I still play it pretty common.
Right. Yeah, and that was my threshold. It's like, this is a neat piece of tech. It's gathering dust.
I mean, to be fair, you wouldn't like the Switch 2. Like the Switch opened up the world to like things like the Steam Deck, and then the Switch 2 trying to like be in parity with the Steam Deck. Like all of this stuff is like kind of blown wide open, right? To the point that the Xbox has got like a crossover with the ROG Ally.
Yep. Although I think I saw rumors that they're gonna not have their own handheld now.
I mean, that would make. I mean, that's fine. It's like if they could do it, one way or the other. Because like all of these things now are just like, oh, like that was one of the things is that I think one of like not ROG Ally, but like one of those other companies now got access to like Steam OS. So it is like, this is a Steam Deck, but not. And I'm like, wait, that kind of just defeats the whole purpose. But that's where we're at now. We're like, you get a ROG Ally and you install Steam OS, or you get Steam Deck and then you install Windows on it, and it's like, well,
isn't it a weird bit of cross pollination that's happening between everybody?
Well, it also just
talk about there's been talk about trying to get Steam on Xbox, in some fashion, and uh, you could see a world where it would be Xbox is just selling the box and it's just a list of apps,
Yeah.
kind of like you see with television, and it would just be here's your Steam app, here's your Activision app, here's your whatever app, here's your Stadia app, and just the menus like that.
Yeah.
And if you want to choose the other platforms, fine. You don't use us as an intermediary, but since we're your home-based console, you're gonna come back to us.
Yeah.
So, still own the ecosystem in that.
And it really is like that's what it is. It's like so many people just like how I when I learned how that you could just go to the Steam desktop, and then all of a sudden I was installing like Epic Game Store and what's it called, GOG. Like I have GOG on there now and plays GOG games, but it goes into my Steam OS. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. All of it is just like a really like it's a it's a little mini computer. Do what you want, right?
Right. Yeah, but that's where the Switch is kind of uniquely nestled in a corner of the gaming stuff, because I feel like Xbox is leaning into that. We know how connected you guys are to everything, so you're technically savvy enough to use this stuff. Sony is a closed garden of sort of prestige and high profile games,
Mm.
and then Nintendo sits in this corner of like easy to use, simple, uncomplicated backdrop. In this case, the uncomplicated is just a symbol of what everybody knows as the Switch now.
Yeah.
But it's that continuing effort to be the pick up and play thing, and low barrier to entry, I think, is a big part of Nintendo is continuing and it's persisting in the game industry.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. What I would say though is that I do like in the Steam Deck, like it's like, oh, install all of these custom things, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. That seems complicated. And then one of them was like, do you want to pull in data from how long to beat, so that when you pick a game, it'll actually show you how long it is to beat? And I was like, I want that.
Maybe, yeah.
Put that on. I have that on there. So by Steam Deck, if I scroll over a game, it'll tell me this takes 15 hours to beat, and I'm like, perfect.
Just install a bunch of widgets that just made it run at like a snail's pace.
Yeah.
Just buckles under the weight of the different. It kind of reminds me of when we played World of War, and you'd install all those
the mods,
all the mods and stuff to give the UIs and quest tracking and stuff.
Did you ever hear that the World of Warcraft now that's just normal? They built all that in.
I'm not surprised.
But it is interesting that you like now it's like, oh, I want a DPS stat tracker, and I want my combo points in a different section, and I want this, and I want to be able to see, like, have a hotbar where I have all these custom buttons all over my screen, and it's like, and quest trackers and item lists and like all this stuff, and they're like, all right, we put it all in the game, so you never have to mod it again.
I am glad that I'm done with the game. To be I liked my experience with the game. Let's put it that way. It's just that there's so much to that game, but also like
every time though I just hear like somebody else talking about like one of those like live service this is going forever games, and I do get jealous where I'm like, oh man, all you do is play Warframe. That's gotta be awesome, man. You gotta really love Warframe. It's like, yeah, I love Warframe. Having a great time with Warframe for the last like 7 years. I'm like, that's gotta be pretty cool.
It's like their forever game.
Right? Yeah.
It's the thing they're gonna always come back to, or it's like their Madden. It's the only thing they're going to play, and they'll be happy with it.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. That's gotta be a nice life.
Yeah. Simple, uncomplicated.
Now, speaking of simple and uncomplicated, Joel, it's Steam Next Fest. It is popping off. There's games on games on games of demos all over Steam. We have a list of what? How many was it now? It is...
Six.
34.
Oh, 34. I thought what we were talking about today.
Well, we have 34 that we're going through. I have played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've played 7 games so far of these, and I definitely want to play at least 4 to 5 more. What about you? We have a list of 34. Where are you feeling on this? Because I'm not. I already know. I have like Moonlighter 2 is a known quantity for me.
I've done 6, and so I can say it's not on our list we talked about today, but Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
Well, hold on,
It's
hold
a
on.
very
But I'm saying, how many are you going to play more? How many of these are you going to play more? Ooh, I heard Possessor
I
was
got through
good.
6. I bet there's a good. Let's see, how was us looked interesting.
I heard Possessor was good. That's one I might put on.
Wheel World, I wanted to try.
That one I
looked
put on for you.
Yeah, yeah. I I wonder if it's like Dave Mira ish.
No, it's more like it's slowly mountain downhill.
I can deal with that too. I'm happy with that too.
Okay. We'll go over this. Well, so you probably got like what 4 or 5 more too that you're gonna go over.
Yeah, there's just I touched on that one, but Hell is Us is the one that I definitely wanted to do. Eat the Rich looked interesting, but it seems like you need a big party of people to play it.
Oh, really? Seems like a party game.
Yeah, it's like a party game.
Okay.
Yeah. And Mina the Hollower. You do me a Game Boy throwback. I'll be curious about.
I'll install it as well. But for right now, Joel, let's take a real quick break. I don't have our Be Right Back image, so I'm gonna put us as stream starting soon, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Yep. Back. Holding down the fort, okay? Holding down the fort. Mm-hmm. That's quick. Nice turnaround. Yeah, that sucks. It is a bad time to be entering the market. I guess you can hope for a refinance eventually. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? That sucks. Yeah, I'm good.
Ooh, I'm gonna stop this music. This is a good song though. Hey, and we're back. Back with early adopters. Where we play alphas, betas, and games that just kind of pique our interest in this giant Steam Next Fest season. It's like our Christmas, but it happens like how many times a year, Joel?
3? Is it 3 times?
February, June, and October.
Yeah, that sounded right. Just often enough to be stressful the whole year round.
Yep. Now, I feel like we can kind of go back and forth. We've tried a bunch of these together. I'll start here with a fun one called Davy X Jones.
Okay.
Now, Joel, you've played a Titanfall 2, correct?
I loved Titanfall 2. That was a great first-person shooter.
And you've played a Doom 2016.
I have played some Doom 2016. Yes.
Okay, but so you've played like a narrative FPS, right?
Yes.
Kind of on rails. In this instance, Davy X Jones is one of those on rails shooters where you are Davy Jones, a pirate who gets murdered and sent to the depths of the underworld by I can't remember, Blackbeard or something to that effect, and you are traveling the underworld trying to come back to life, and it's pretty cool because it does the full like go over here and you have like a sickle spear in one hand and your blunderbuss in the other, and they're really cool, like well done, like gothic. So like your blunderbuss has a squid on it that wraps around your arm, and then your like spear is like your spear scythe thing has like, you know, a bunch of seaweed and like gold adornment on it, and you're cutting through. It's like, you know, dodge and then do your combo and blast him in the face, and you know, dashing and all that stuff. But then, you know, you get killed, you get sent to the underworld, and when you're killed, your pirate rival decides to have you hung and then covered in gold, like boiling hot gold. And then when you wake up in the underworld, it's your skull talking to you and you're just like a headless body, and you're following the skull around and doing all these adventures and like fighting off ghosts and demons, and it looks like you're underwater, but you're in like a real, like a normal plane that you're jumping around and doing platforming challenges. You get like a hook shot, and you get all these different other abilities. Your skull can now attack. You can shoot your skull out, and it just goes pretty fast where you go in these arenas where you have all these zombies coming at you, and you're doing all these combos and chaining up, like grapple hook, blast, 3-hit combo over here to this other guy, shoot my skull somewhere else. You know, it's like a really back and forth. Shoot your skull to regain health, and then you kill these guys for more ammo. It's really fast paced. It is pretty straightforward, but it's just cool as hell. It is just really well done in that like story based like heavy like shooter.
I like the aesthetic. They do nail that sort of grimy underwater, been under the sea for hundreds of years kind of look. How? Okay, so I've got a thing about sidekicks that are affixed to you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, is the skull sidekick like what on what scale of annoying is the skull?
I didn't find him that annoying. He talks, but he's not talking constantly, and that's kind of the thing that I hate is when they just nonstop gabbing sesh. And in this case, the skull is pretty silent until you get to story moments,
Okay.
and then after that, he's kind of just going around. He doesn't even really give you the hints of where to go. I found that I was just like putzing around a lot until I found out how to unlock the door to go to the next spot, and he wasn't like sitting there going, "Oh, you got to do this and that." No, he was pretty quiet, and that made me happy.
Did you see much variation in weapons?
I saw the gun and the scythe thing, and then I got a grapple hook and I got the skull. So there's probably some more. I can imagine some abilities. I can imagine there being like armor and there are. If I remember correctly, there are glory kills. I'm trying to remember what kind of glory kills, but there are some pretty cool ones. And then just overall, this like revenge tale, he definitely comes off as like Davy Jones is trying to be like the Doom Slayer, where he's just this angry guy, like how friggin' dare you? I'm gonna get you, like really just coming back and like I will not stop. It's pretty cool.
It's the unstoppable force.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I get that. That power fantasy can feel really good, and I think that's what made something like Doom feel so good. Even like the hour, the Dark Ages, you're just like I'm destroying stuff. This feels good.
yeah. And so I think that this is kind of came out of nowhere. I don't even remember where I saw this. I think I saw like an ad for it on Instagram, and I was like, oh, that's one no one is talking about. I'm gonna check that one out, and it ended up being this kind of wild ride. It but you can also tell, I will say, that there is a little bit of a B game to this in the way that like the animations aren't necessarily as smooth as say a Doom 2016, but it's really going for it, and that's where I'm at, where I'm like, you know what, I respect that you're not kind of half-assing this. You're really putting everything on the page here, and I'm loving it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It sound. This is gonna sound more mean than I mean it, but you grade the stuff on a scale,
Yeah.
right? And with the understanding that a Bethesda games, that you're not going to be able to compete with that. But if you can get within spitting distance of that quality and really nail the actual gameplay, you're gonna find your spot.
I think this does get in that point where it's like, oh, okay, you got playing it. I'm like, I know what you're doing here, and that's good for me because like if I know what you're doing, we can all be happy with that. And I think that's where I sit with it. I'm like, I get it, cool, into it, let's go. But yeah, that's Davy X Jones. Uh, Joel, you got one for me?
Let's do Dead as Disco.
Okay, Dead as Disco.
Dead as Disco. So I didn't add this to the list. I suspect maybe you, in compiling the list, saw this and thought of me, because it is a 3D beat 'em up style brawler kind of game. I guess for current relation, Yakuza style combat, or maybe Batman style, Arkham style combat. It's the kind of thing where you are fighting off against 3 or 4 people at a time. There are people attacking you. You've got your sort of counter button that you have to time and react to. They've got the finishers once them down to a certain point of damage. And the whole point, I guess Sifu might be a better.
That's what I thought about it, was how much it was like Sifu.
Yeah, it is very much that. Nowhere near as difficult. This game wants you to have fun and look cool while doing.
And you're missing the key part, which is that everything is to the rhythm of the song, and sometimes it's hip hop, sometimes it is disco music, and it's just so cool. And it reminded me of you know what I'm talking about? The recent game that was a third person action where the guy's got a guitar as a weapon.
Oh, Hi-Fi Rush.
It
Yeah.
reminded me of Hi-Fi Rush, but if only it was just straight beat 'em up, and everything was to the beat. When you parry, you dodge, you go right, and you counterattacks. Uh, they really do give it to the rhythm of the song, and I'm like, that is so good, and it feels good, sounds good, and they're
That
using licensed music, so we get the actual music.
Yep. I think the clip I had Maniac.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's. I think you nailed a part of why I liked what I played so much of this. That Hi-Fi Rush had really cool combat and action. I did not care for the platforming part of that game.
agreed.
So, uh, it being distilled down to this is pretty cool. They call it Dead as Disco, maybe. Okay, I'm seeing some street shots.
Oh no, I know why it's
Disco
called that.
stuff.
You didn't
I've
play
seen
very
this-
much.
Well, I played what I thought was the only map, but I guess
But
not.
but
It
if you
had-
know if you finish it, they go, "I thought you were dead, Disco," and then it pans to his name, and it's like
Oh.
something Disco. His last name is Disco.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So this character, he faked his death, and now he's coming back for revenge, and that's like the thing. I'm like, that's funny. That they're like, we thought you were dead, Disco, and then they pan to his name, and it's like last name was Disco. I can't remember what his first name was, but still, it was a very funny bit.
Yeah, I guess I didn't. Charlie Disco.
Charlie Disco. There we go.
I'm looking on the Steam page. But man, wide windows to accomplish the counters and finishers and hitting people, but everything is so slick when you're getting into a rhythm. Your character gets highlighted in different neon colors. He's wailing people. It's just, and it's fluid. It is fluid in that Sifu kind of way,
Yeah.
where when you're popping off, you look like an action movie star. It's cool.
And then even better than like that is like you hit the punch button. It doesn't matter when you hit the punch button. The punch is like boom, 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 boom. It hits the rhythm of the song perfectly, and I just kind of love how that works. You have a dodge parry, which the parry comes with its own counterattack combo, basic attacks. Then if you hold the trigger, you'll do a special like combo move, which is cool because he gets these like glow sticks and then beats the crap out of these people with glow sticks and then does like a drum on their body. And then the last thing was you get like a knockdown, so you could like trip people, and that was pretty fun to do. And then like because he's like, you're getting surrounded by like 5 guys, like I need to parry one, dodge one, knock one down, and then do my super combo to another just to get somebody off the playing field because there's too many people here.
Oh yeah, it's all about crowd control, and gosh, this stuff is laced with humor, not the sort of yuck I'm making jokes humor, but just situational humor, and the way people react to stuff when you're attacking, and the music feels like it leans into that a little bit because silly with being in a subway, hearing he's a main,
Yeah.
while you're running into trains.
Oh, and then there's even the like when you get to the cutscenes, it's like just your character's dark silhouette against a neon nightlife sign, and just like, oh, he's such a badass. This is cool. Like I'm into this character right now, and I think that's kind of where I'm like, this is a good game. This was a wish list.
Absolutely. Yep. So far, this is kind of my demo of this next fest. It's pretty cool.
So yeah, those are I definitely wishlisted Davy X Jones. I definitely wishlisted Dead as Disco. I think that those are both very cool games for me.
I'll have to round back to Davy X Jones.
Yeah.
You piqued my interest.
Okay. Let's go into one that didn't thrill me. Rough and the Riverside.
That's too bad. I was looking at the description and I thought to myself, I hope this is good.
I mean, well, okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. We have the beat list, and the beat list is our list of games we beat. And in a way to weaponize it, I have tended to find as many short indie games made by like two people as possible and just beat them really fast because they're really short. In the vein of that, I have found that there is this genre of like indie game where it's just, you know, Mario 64, Banjo Kazooie. We give you mascot character, put him in a 3D world with not as many pixels or as many voxels or as many like as good looking of an environment as you would see as probably like it's on an N64.
Yeah.
And then we give some little thing to make the gameplay just slightly varied so it's not just Mario 64. And,
Like
and
Yellow
then,
Taxi Goes Vroom.
yes, exactly. Yeah, Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom is one of those. And but at the end of the day, it's a collectathon to open a door to move on. And Rough and the Riverside is exactly that. And I've played a bunch of these more recently. Like I am currently still have an open game that I should probably just finish off. I should beat Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom. I own it. I've played like 3 hours of it. But this is one of those, and I just don't know if I'm not in the mood for it. But it is like the character he's paper thin, so he is like a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And the varyingness to like the big uniqueness is that you can pick a texture and then turn something else into said texture.
That is an interesting hook.
Yeah, so if the beginning starts, you're falling down a cliff next to a waterfall, and you're on a giant rock that's falling, and there's a vine on it. You grab the vine, and you make the waterfall a vine, and then now you climb up the waterfall instead. And that's the intro, and then it's like, oh, here's like, and it's good, and it pretty much just goes into, man, that sure was crazy that we almost fell to our deaths. Anyways, here's a bunch of doors that need stars. Go find the stars. We'll open the first gate for you so that you have some place to get some stars. And it's like, oh. And then here's the hub world where there's all these hidden stars. It's like, wow, this is really...
This is really a video game.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying is that, like, it's like talk to everybody and someone's like, man, that thing sure looks suspicious. Maybe you could figure out how to open it. And it's like, okay, yeah. See, I know what we're doing. It's just funny enough to know, like that I've done this before. Like I've played, was it Kiwi 64? It was
Yes.
that I think I beat that one. Yeah, Super Kiwi 64. I beat that one. There was another one I beat. I can't remember what it was called, but like I have like a list of like when I was going through the beat list and I was trying to beat as many short games as possible. That was one. Like there was two of them in a row of like, oh, this is 64 like games. Nailed it. Got it. I've played these, and I think that with this one, I'm like, I'm not ready to take this serious. I know what this is. I've played this 1,000 times before. If you are up for one of those, like you're like, I haven't played these in a while, you should try Rough in the Riverside, just at least from that interesting mechanic.
Yeah.
I just am out of those right now.
I also have Yellow Tatsy Do's Room, but I gotta say, visually, I mean, it looks pretty nice style-wise. In motion, is it tough to tell where he's going to land? Because that's one thing that I'm looking at and thinking, at least the way I'm looking, I couldn't quite tell where, from his flat perspective, that he would land on the...
I didn't have too much trouble with it. I didn't find that didn't stand out to me as an issue. What stood out to me as an issue was that like the kind of the little bit of the generic quality of it, where I'm like, I know right up front they're like, here's the star doors. I'm like, cool, got it. Like I think that it would have done for me was like a little bit more of like personality, a little bit more story, a little bit more of like a, because they just give you so much of it. Like here's the world, the hub world, and here's all the stars. Do what you gotta do. And I'm like, that is like a lot right off the bat, like without any kind of preamble or a slow ramp. And I think I would have liked a little bit more of a slow ramp, but no, it looks good, plays good. I may not be in the mood for it, so.
My little nitpick from not playing it is that there's a piece that is clearly lifted from Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, really?
And so I'm seeing segments where you turn 2D into the wall.
Yes.
From 3D.
Yep.
And then start platforming. That is I don't know, maybe something you can tell me how it's been preempted, but Odyssey definitely did one. That was one of the cool hooks in that game was...
Oh, yeah, you know what? I saw that in the main world. Yeah, that is... Oh, that's the music playing. Here, yep. Yes, that is something that you do in this game. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So that's one of my things is, yeah, I'm okay with people even lift certain game ideas from other games if they're implemented in a unique way. I mean, they try in this, but it's too close.
Yeah, and it also just goes really fast. Like
Yeah.
it does move really fast. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm like, you just slow it down a little bit. But I mean, again, either way, I'm being picky. I think Rough in the Riverside's a cool idea. I just am not in the right my headspace right now for that. Like that's not what I'm looking for at this moment.
Right. Yeah.
It's like the I will say like Summer Game Fest they had the like Persona 4 remake like announcement and I was like I'm not ready for this now. You know what I mean? Like
Did you play Metaphor?
no, because I wanted to be ready for Persona 3. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing Expedition 33 and I'm like I can't go into this and then like maybe when it comes out next year or 2 years I'll be ready for it. But like if you were asking me right now, do you want to play Persona 4? I don't. And so it's like I have to be in the mood and right now Rough in the Riverside is not the mood for me. What else do you want to talk about? We got a couple more.
How about we pivot over to I want to know about One Way.
Oneway.exe. This is there's like a lot of like how much are you into like the new wave of horror games? Like there's a new wave of like mascot horror. Like the Five Nights at Freddy's have inspired like 27 spin-offs.
I know of Poppy's Playtime.
Yep, okay, that's a hot one.
Granny was one that was big for a while.
Hello Neighbor.
Hello Neighbor. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is trying to do that a little bit more, but in the vein of like you're a computer hacker person, and there's like a hidden video game and executable oneway.exe that has hidden the internet, and everyone's like, oh, I heard that the last 5 people that found it and played it died forever, and you get a copy of it.
Okay, so it's like Blair Witch meets The Ring.
But also like meeting all of those other games where it's like in the beginning it's like there's like 5 different like horror beings and you go to their worlds, and like I picked the like cutesy like you know teacup type like Miss Muffet type character, and in that it's like, oh, you're trying to play some like fun party games, you play Hangman, but if you mess up letters, all of a sudden your character slowly starts to not be able to breathe and is getting hung actively, that kind of stuff where it's like they really do add like these little horror elements to like what you think is like, oh, it's normal, oh not, it's creepy and weird.
That's clever.
Yeah,
that's pretty clever.
And that's just one part of it, because then there's like a bunch of other challenges per all of these different like horror kind of creatures that are things like like an animatronic bear, or like like a living doll that's creepy.
Garfield.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's what.
Oh man.
So it's it's a fun one of those. I think that like I picked it because I've been I think, what is the one I have that I currently installed that I was going to jump into? Finding Frankie. Just another one of those, and I think that I was like, well, I'm interested in trying this one out, and it does a good enough job where you're just like playing this video game that's messing with you. Like one of them is like you're playing like a Game Boy game, and like you pan away from the Game Boy game, and all of these horrifying bloody posters are talking to you, and yeah, it's just like just that kind of stuff that's happening, or it's like really. It's playing a video game, but also messing with you. It's like all these pop-up windows happen of these like horror icons, and it's like, oh, okay, this is all pretty cool.
Yeah, they're really leaning into the '90s aesthetic with a lot of the computer interfaces. It's real Windows 90 for a lot of that.
Yeah, I played one just recently called My Side, and that was like that was a weird like that was trying to be what is it, the literature club, Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh, okay.
But it was trying really hard to do that. And it was all right in the end, but like it could have done more. And in this case, this one, I think oneway.exe is a very cool one, and I think that more people should check this one out if you like that kind of mascot horror stuff with like some mini games in there.
I'm liking what I'm seeing. I mean, I'm looking at the video right now. It's running down a hallway, and there error pop-up messages you have to click and close. That's some wild ideas. I like what they're working with so far.
Yeah. Yep, and I think that the oneway.exe I think has some promise for it.
Nice.
And then there's one more that I think really like we have to talk about in the way that uh like this felt bad, and I understand like that's kind of the point, and it's weird, man. This consume me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was expecting something more of a party style game by that name.
Mm.
Thought very hungry, hungry hippos, and then I started looking at the Steam page and went, "Oh, oh no, that is not what we're going for here."
Well, I mean,
Um,
I saw the that's kind of the thing. So it was announced during Steam Next Fest, and it is being published by our friends over at Pop Agenda. But it is a like a it's a it almost reminds me of Venba in the way that it's like a story about your childhood and this character's kind of childhood. Where I'm pretty sure she's like Middle Eastern or something like that, and she has like a really like old style mother, and it's her story, and it's like and like the way they do it is like it's the developer. She's saying like I wanted to be hot, and this is my story. Can you help me be hot? And I was like, oh, and then like, they're making kind of jokes about it, and then you play it, and it's like, oh, her mother's calling her fat, and then she's having actual issues like actual like image issues where she feels gross about it, and then like there's just like she has a bad negative image that's talking to her in the mirror, and then you're trying to balance food while also not feeling so shitty about yourself. I swore that's fine. I caught myself, but it just feels really gross and bad. This it feels like I was, and it's fun. It's very fun and upbeat and quirky and comedy popping off where you're just like these the actions and the mini games are just like get out of bed, move the mouse up and down. Okay, now hit the snooze button. Now get dressed, pick your outfit for the day. And like then it's like, "Oh, I'm hungry." Balance the food, and the food is Tetraminos. And like
yeah,
that's pretty cool. But then like if you don't get it perfect, then she's like, "Well, I'm hungry now, and this kind of sucks, and I don't know if I'm going to not be able to snack later. I'm probably going to have to snack later, and that's going to be bad because I have a goal here." And
yeah,
all of it, like, and then like you get further in, it's like also juggle learning to like study, also juggle trying to be popular by working on your social skills, also juggle trying to get money by walking your dog, and then also work out and also eat food properly. And it's like, oh no, this is too much. And like even like when the games like when you get to that point where the game's like explaining this all to you,
yeah.
they go, here's all the things you got to do, and she goes, wait, hold on, can you give me those missions again, can you give me those quests again? And he's like, no, I'm not going to give them to you again. They're all on the just go over here to this quest list, and it's like the quest list that you have to scroll down. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this all is awful.
So this game, I played a game earlier this year that was very autobiographical. In it, it was like empty spaces you walked over to different nodes that would then give some narration. It was a very tell not show
Hmm.
kind of game. This is the opposite. This is the show not tell. You're not being told the story, you're living the story
Yes.
through it, and all you're getting is sort of the inner monologue and dialogue. But you know what's happening from her standpoint. It's a girl that struggles with food
Hmm.
in a way that a lot of people do. I mean, I fluctuate in weight sometimes, and it can be kind of something on your mind background. It's a compulsion that you feel like you need to keep in check, but then you also deal with bits of guilt, and they display that really well. They have moments where she says, "I can't help myself. I'm gonna starve," and then she feels like crap after because of that, and it does a good job of balancing the different spinning plates stuff. Because by the end of the demo, they had you trying to do chores for your mom, so you could save up money to do something.
You're gonna do swimming
But
suit
all
swimsuit for the
in
party.
a swimsuit, you can go to a mart where you can buy not only snacks but spare Tetramino pieces to play on the food plate too. So there is a little bit of gamesmanship in that way,
Hmm.
but the I like this kind of storytelling because it's being told through the systems. The gameplay is the narrative arc. The dialogue is just personal interaction, and it has a good structure to layer on top of a pretty heartfelt story from what I can tell.
Yeah, and then like your character starts to get stressed out, and so she has dreams about like being able to balance everything because things start falling, and on that you're just holding a plate while you're trying to balance everything, and of course it all just drops.
Yep.
There's a lot to it. Like one of the things they even said in the announcement at Summer Game Fest was, um, the skinnier you are, the worse you feel, and that's kind of it. Is that she's not taking care of herself, and everything starts to just feel worse and worse and worse, and like that's a feeling that I get, right, where I'm just like trying to do a bunch of stuff, and then at the end of the day I'm like, I need to relax, I need to breathe, I need to take a moment for myself, and then I just feel the absolute most guilt I've ever felt ever because I could have been doing 27 other things that I'm not doing. Oof.
Okay, so I'm not alone feeling that.
All the time. I did that
Oh,
today. I got so much done today, and at the end of it, I'm like, I'm gonna sit down and relax for a few minutes, and then I felt like absolute trash because I should have been doing 7 other things, and it's like, oh man,
right.
this
Yeah,
is brutal.
oh, there are dishes in the sink still. I really should get to the laundry, but man, I sunk into this couch and I'm not getting back up.
Yeah.
Sorry, me.
No, for me, it's like also the opposite where I'm like, I refuse to sit on the couch, and so like I'm actually just like bummed out that I'm like, I should have taken some time for myself, and I didn't,
Yeah,
and now I'm mad at myself, you jerk.
yeah.
So it's like, yeah,
You,
and
you
that's
can't.
where consume me. I'm like, oh, this speaks my language too much.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I guess it's just the human experience, right?
Yeah. And so this is again from Pop Agenda. Let me see. I'm trying to think who, because they've had another game, right? Didn't they do?
Jenny Jiao, Sia, AP Thompson.
Oh, they no,
They're
so Pop Agenda isn't the publisher. They're just helping them out get this out the door. But there,
okay.
but there,
Promotion and
yeah,
Executable is the publisher name.
yeah, there was
Um,
another one though. These guys have worked on another game, I swear. But yeah.
Beglicked.
No, there was. I'll have to think about it. I swear they done
Okay.
something else, but yeah,
All right. But either way, I mean, for my money, this is probably the one that hooked me the most from this week.
yeah,
I want to be able to play out and see where the story is and what conclusions it comes to. I want to see what their vision is for what the story.
yeah. What are you trying? What is the end goal for this story? Because I'm very interested if it like sticks to landing. Um,
Yeah.
and of course, we didn't even mention like the mini games are really fun. Like when you exercise, it's just move your characters like little arms and legs around to get to like match the pose.
Yeah.
Or
You just
walking the dog is like a slingshot, walking the dog back and forth.
studying. It's just a visual cone trying to hit button back and keep within range of the book.
Because otherwise you're just
Or
distracted, which is totally an ADD thing that I have.
yep, yep.
Yeah. Consume Me really stuck out to me in a way that I was like, wow, this is a lot of fun. But that's what we played this week, which will bring us to, I do have like a segue into this. Our
Hmm.
one last thing. One last thing where we say one last sentence, one last statement, sending us into the weekend and you, the listener, into the weekday when this episode's published. So, Joel, for our one last thing,
Hmm.
what are the games that you are looking to still try on Steam Next Fest?
I want to play more of Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
Okay.
So I got about 2 levels into it. It's a very good feeling 2D action platform.
Okay.
Very straightforward, very comfortable. Uh, you remember The Witness?
Yes.
Or sorry, not Witness, The Messenger. The Messenger.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that, except it has a lot nicer graphics, a lot nicer animation, more current stuff. But it feels in line with Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious about that one. I would love to give Hell Is Us a check.
Okay.
That was one on the list that I was pretty compelled by. I just thought it was a very captivating looking first person dark game. So
Yeah, it did look pretty
curious to
dark.
check. Yeah, so I'm interested in that. It looks pretty good. And then I think I'm gonna play Davy X Jones and Rough from the Riverside.
Hell yeah, those are good. Those are very good.
I don't know. I gotta check those out.
All right, so for me, Dispatch, that is the Telltale people, but they're not. It's not Telltale Games, and it's Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad, and he's
Okay.
a dispatcher sending out. He's a former superhero who can't be a superhero anymore, so he's sending out other superheroes to. So he's dispatching them.
I downloaded that demo.
Yep.
I haven't gotten around to it.
Baby Steps.
Mhm.
Space Adventure Cobra: The Awakening, which is a like 2D like Contra like, but the art is the old anime Space Adventure, which was the one from the 70s and 80s. If you remember any of the Daft Punk music videos,
Yes.
like the ones that were anime,
Yeah.
it looks like
Oh,
that.
you're not joking.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Yep.
All right.
And then what else is installed here? The other ones are Possessor, which is
Mhm.
also a 2D action platformer, but that one is like let's see. That one looks a little bit like it's from Heart Machine, which
Okay.
Heart Machine made Sludge Life and Shotgun Cop Man, Enter the
Mhm.
Gungeon, the like I think that's kind of, no wait, Heart Machine. Yeah, I think that might be that. Well, that's Devolver Digital. Who is Heart Machine? This is a Devolver game, and so that's more where I'm like, okay, I'll play these other games. I got to look at what else these Heart Machine made, but the Heart Machine's done some good stuff.
I'm not sure it's quite related to Next Fest, but I did download the Stellar Blade demo.
Oh yeah,
So I've got that to give it a run and see how that plays.
real sexy.
But you know, there's adult content and then there's adult content.
Yep.
I mean, and that's one where they're shamelessly, here you go, we know it's right in front of your face. And then you got Nier Automata, plays itself so seriously, but then also immediately gives you the chance to either one, do an upshot of 2B or have her explode all her clothes off.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. It's up for debate which one is more.
Yeah. Baby Steps. There's also Devolver, the Quap like game, and then
Okay.
Mina the Hollower, which is like a Game Boy throwback, which I'm very interested in.
Yeah, that's.
Let's see, there's
Talking about,
so
talking
many.
about platformer for that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's more of a. Well, it's very Zelda-ish,
Which one?
or Final Fantasy-ish.
Which one?
Mina, the Hollower.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm into it. Neat.
Yep. And just for reference, oh no, wait, no, that's not even a demo anymore. I can delete that one. Okay, I was looking at this other one, but they don't even have a demo anymore, so I'm gonna delete it altogether. It's a big list, and I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with all these games, even like if we don't get a chance to play them. I'm like, man, these games are going to be good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this stuff.
Yeah, if you want like an Into the Breach like Death Hollow,
Death Hollow.
that's on our
Death
list.
Howl.
Death Howl, sorry, Death Howl. Yeah, that's on our list. Too many good games.
Yeah. Not enough time.
Not enough time. But that's the end of our time, Joel.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You know what? I think in honor of Getty and Alec not being here, it might be a fun time to open a blind pack.
Oh, okay. We're gonna do a live blind pack opening.
Yeah. There you go, Alec and Getty. We got one right here.
Gotta do it in front of the camera. In front of the camera.
Yep.
So and because of this, you have to face so you don't even get to see the cards first. We get to
Okay.
see the cards first. This
Oh,
is a visual medium. Feel free to edit all of this out, or I will just say the card.
Okay.
Here,
So
Final Fantasy, Magic the Gathering card pulls. Let's go. Face the camera. Let's do it. Okay, I don't even know. Yep. Okay, what is
kinda
it?
Did it.
No, back further. All right, that was good. What is this? A mountain. Got it. All right, mountain. Next.
Oh, it's reversing it.
No, I can read it. I can read it.
Okay. All right.
Back. Like, see if you could. Oh, we can't even see this one. It looks familiar though. I think that's
Yeah, it
Queen.
does.
I think that's Queen Bran. Queen Bran. Yes, from Final Fantasy IX. I'm into it.
Yep. You're right. That's a hollow.
That I couldn't even see. Oh, it's a hollow. Huh?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's a Yuna. Yuna the
Yep.
summoner. Okay,
Yep.
these are good.
Okay.
Uh,
That is
Catch fish.
side quest catch a fish.
Okay, that's from Final Fantasy 15.
Okay.
Oh, that is a behemoth, and that looks like the one that might be from Final Fantasy 15 as well.
That yeah, Coliseum Behemoth.
Oh, I know that's
That
not
one
that one.
looks okay.
Oh, you got an Ultros.
Yep. I got a hollow one from another
Nice.
pack.
And that looks to be it's
That's
a
gotta
lance.
be-
It's a dragoon's lance.
Yep. Very good.
And
White Mage?
White Mage.
Nope. Nope. Lieutenant Lunatic Pandora.
I
Does
don't
that sound familiar to you at all?
know, but I'm gonna Google that one.
Instant ramen.
Oh, that's Final Fantasy 15.
That's funny.
Oh, that one is Kutra for rare. I don't know what that is.
No, I'm not familiar with that either.
Oh, that's a okay. That is a call the Chocobo. You got a green Chocobo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the Lunatic Pandora is Final Fantasy 8.
That would be why I don't recognize it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a flan, an ice flan.
Uh-huh. All right, two more.
It's weirder that I could see these. I know what they are, and I can't even read it. I don't know that one.
Commune with beavers.
Yeah, commune with them beavers.
And then we got finally cornered by black mages.
Ooh, that's very
So-
cool.
The art on this stuff is amazing.
Agreed.
I will probably never play with these cards, but I will look at them fondly.
Summer, extra life. Extra life.
Yep. There you go.
Okay. And that will be it for this week's Super GG Radio. Before we go, you can find us on Blue Sky at Super GG Radio and twitch.tv/Super GG Radio, where you can find our podcast live streaming on Thursdays. If you'd like to reach us with questions or input, our email address is mail@superggradio.com and provide a review on iTunes or the podcast app of your choice. Please check out our Patreon, where you can get monthly pictures of our pups, get your name read off as an executive producer, free copies of Early Adopters, and even get a chance to play games with us. We got some games. You can come hang out and play them.
Fight me.
You want to play some Mario Kart? Ooh, Joel fight you in Street Fighter 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of options. Make Getty angry through your Magic the Gathering arena games. All possible. Take a long time.
Making Getty angry is my favorite.
It's the easiest thing to do. Just take a really long time to draft. Same for Alec. You can really torture these guys by just subscribing to our Patreon. Affect our livelihoods by making us frustrated on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. Obligate us to do things we don't want to.
That's the best part of giving to us. An independent outlet. Well, thanks for listening. GG, Joel.
Good game.
Good night, everybody.